right, guys, today we're gonna learn how to skate backwards. So basically, I'm gonna teach you guys how to do this. But before we do that, we are going to stretch. We're gonna do a fast warm-up also. Now, one of the key things to do when you're trying to learn how to skate backwards is you want to be lined up with something equally with your waist. So like any of these benches here will do, any park bench will do. Even with the fence post, you can kind of do it. But the idea is you don't want to hold on to something. You will just want to be able to brace yourself with something. So that, and also, it's because we're going to be pushing off. So whatever your lead foot is, I'm not goofy, I'm regular foot, so this is my lead foot. So with my lead foot, you're going to want to keep that in front, and you're going to want to practice pushing back and using this back stopper. So with your back foot, you're going to want to, you need this stopper. This is so key if you want to learn how to go backwards. This is going to stop all your momentum going backwards. For instance, so to get comfortable several times, you're going to want to push back just like this. So simple. Ready? Simple. As you get better, okay, I know a lot of you might be older, so remember Tony Little? I know you remember Tony Little, the Gazelle Boy. So the one thing he did do that's going to help you skating backwards, the Gazelle movement. Stop. So I need you guys to practice swinging as you're holding on. Let me get you over here more lined up. So I want you to practice this first. Yeah, what's up, bro? So you're gonna practice holding on to whatever table you got, and I want you guys to practice the Gazelle. As you're practicing the Gazelle, we're gonna up it a notch. You're gonna wanna get the two front wheels of your skates and get them to go back and hit your stopper. Hit your stopper. Watch how I do this. So I'm going like a Gazelle, hit my stopper. This is not your lead foot. Your lead foot should always be forward. You have to have stability. Now you guys, after we've done that and you feel comfortable with the Gazelle movement, now you're ready to push off. Now you're totally ready to push off. And I want you to push off with your lead foot always forward. Always forward. And then stop. Push back. I need you to push back with your stopper if you're going to want to learn this. So that was pretty easy, right? Now the next thing you're going to want to do is a crossover. Now if you already know how to skate forward, you're going to know that you need to cross over sometimes to get some momentum. So with the crossover, it's going to be a backwards thrust this way. Thrust this way. This is, your front foot is still in control when you go backwards. That is the key. Like if you're skating forward, your front foot's in control. If you're skating backwards, your front foot is in control. Now watch how I thrust off this foot. Ready? Thrust. Stop. It's going to be super key to thrust off this foot and then stop. This is going to get you the momentum to actually speed up, to go backwards. Very difficult process, very difficult process, but you got to respect the process, and if you want to learn how to skate backwards, that's what you're going to have to do. It's all about commitment. It's always about commitment. There's never an instance once where I thought to myself, you don't have to commit. You always have to commit. If you're not committing, it's not going to work. So I'm going to push off, thrust. You want to swing the hip in whatever direction you're going. You want the arms to go the opposite direction. So the arms are going to go swaying to the opposite direction while you're going backwards. Now let's look at this is real time. Now I'm going to use this post right here to push me off while I start to thrust to go backwards. Another thing that you're going to want to do, it's kind of like a wormy thing, so you're going to want to like swerve your legs. Since you learned the gazelle, so the gazelle's just straight forward, you're going to want to try to lean into both of your feet from the heels. From the heels, you want them to go to the inside of your body, just like this. Now your front foot is so key right here. Now watch my front foot. It's going to pivot. It's going to pivot to the inside, and it's going to grab the outside and throw you inside. The reason for that is because you're going to go circular to whatever your lead foot is. If you're goofy foot, this is your lead foot, you're going to go to your left. If you're regular footed, you're going to go to your right backwards. All you're doing is you're just moving that foot just a little bit. When you're moving that foot just a little bit and you add the thrust, that's where you're going to get your speed. So I'm going to back you up here so you guys can kind of see. Also, when you're learning to go backwards, you're going to automatically go to where your back foot is taking you. So you're never going to go left if you're regular foot, and you're never going to go right if you're goofy foot. I mean, you're just not. It's not in the cards for you. Okay, so let's put both of those in motion. So we're going to push back, swerve, and then thrust. Swerve, thrust. As you're swerving your foot and your heel comes to the inside of your thigh, that's when you want to thrust. That's when you want to push that foot back. So you want it to go perpendicular into a point, and then it's going to thrust this way. Right? Thrust. Let's see. Hopefully you guys seen that. Let me show you guys at a level of the skate. Swerve. Thrust. Swerve, thrust. Let's practice on these benches. Now let's put those all together and let's try to do it on brick. Now remember, once your heel goes into your thigh, that's when you want to thrust this foot inward towards your thigh. Push off with the front two skates or the front two wheels. And remember, your stopper on your weak leg, not your strong leg, so not your forward leg, is going to be your best friend. I bet you're saying to yourself, well, I can't even get to that point. If I'm going straight, how do I even turn to that point? The difference between skateboarding and roller skates is backside and front side. With roller skates, you're gonna have a way easier time doing front side. It sounds crazy, but it just, you dive in, you're automatically, because of your lead foot and because of the width of your trucks, you're automatically gonna feel this motion as opposed to this motion. Okay, you're automatically gonna feel this motion. So you gotta learn to use this motion to make you steer off to the opposite. You see how I did that? So let's practice with our hands. We're gonna go forward, and as soon as we switch our hands, we're gonna do that motion. Why am I showing you this? Because when we turn around and do it, you're going to spin this way and thrust off into that motion. So again, we're gonna go forward. We're going to spin backside and then thrust front side with that motion. So now we just used both motions with the heel inside, both heels inside, thrust, squirrely. Don't be afraid to use your stoppers. Your stoppers are your best friends. Look at that. Tiptoeing, tiptoeing, tiptoeing. Okay, let's put it all in one motion now. Thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, remember, I'm usually here at Oakdale Skate Park. If you see me, just ask. But there we are, links down below. Please subscribe, like, comment. Thank you very much.